Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Once Upon a Game. We're playing the amazing Ben Lehman's game, my first story game ever, Polaris. So, hi, my name's Eric. I'm EricVulgaris. I'm going to be the host and facilitator of this GM-less story game about a tragedy in the utmost north in this mythic world, which I'll talk about in a little bit after we go over and look around at all our three other players that I'll be playing with today. So, let's go down in order. Golden H, Will, good to see you, man.
Hey, good
Hello.
to see you, Eric.
Hi, welcome.
Oh man, it's been a long month.
Yeah?
But
Yeah? What's new with you? What's been up to?
man, get into Magic and started up a new campaign. Gonna do Noblest now. We just finished character gen. We started role playing. So we have dinosaurs, sadism, and Wanderlust as our three characters.
Wow.
And pretty interesting.
Sounds brutal.
Yeah.
Nobilis is is that one of the oldest games? Like as far as like weird
I mean, I'd
story
like
games
to
go?
say it is, but
Yeah.
there's probably somebody out there who's like, oh no, there's like 15 games before it. But I
Sure.
think
I mean
it's
there's always a it's a line, it's a chain, right?
yeah.
Or something, or graph.
It's like definitely it should be like in the top 100 oldest games.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think when I hear Nobilis, I also think of like Archipelago and stuff, so like it's like way back. Um,
yeah, it's 90s.
yeah,
But
like
like people
the
were making new role playing games in the 70s. So what can I say?
yeah. Exactly. It's just one of those things where when I think of like, oh, we're playing D&D in like second edition, being like, yeah, but what else can we do? And like that's sort of where that all kind of came from, right? Like
So you're
that,
getting used to
like
that concept that
the seeds that started like the Forge is like this is around that time
I
when
mean, it
these other
has
things were happening.
it has project clocks from Blaze in the Dark.
Yeah,
It has you choose when you're wounded, and if you're okay with what happens, you don't get ever damaged. It's got all kinds of things that like really in modern RPGs I didn't realize till I just was going through the rules again to run this game.
it's kind of like people are rediscovering these things again.
Yeah,
That's cool.
but yeah,
Nice.
Jenna Moran is like one of my favorite designers. So
Awesome.
check
Yeah.
her out. She's got a Patreon now.
Oh, I will. I'll just check that out. I like to support my game designer friends. All right. Luke, Wildwood Games. Good to see
Hello.
you. Hi.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's also been a long month. We had the
Yeah.
local games convention. I ran my game like 8 times myself, and then my co-GMs both ran it like another 6.
Yeah.
It was busy con. I had a really great time. Things are good.
Yeah, I can imagine. That sounds very, very tiring after a while. Like, I could do
Yep.
3
And then we went off to
No, continue.
yeah, and then we went off to postcon drinks. We did that
Yes!
until midnight. And then the next morning we all met up for postcon brunch.
Yes!
60 of us.
So, secret, inside baseball secret, post game convention hanging out, and then post game brunch is like the best part of cons. Like one of the best parts besides the game.
Yes.
Like,
Fuck yes.
yeah. That's so
And
good
then-
when you can hang out with
and-
people. Yeah.
And then I had to leave postcon brunch to go right to work.
Yeah. How can
Yeah.
you work? Well, I mean, at least you were working riding this super high.
Yeah, well, and then I was in the office. I was taking bookings. It was awful. But then I got to hang out with one of my gamer friends that evening, and then the next morning we woke up early, and we went and we had post-con breakfast with the outgoing president of the con.
Now it sounds like you're a hobbit.
Yeah, I mean, look,
second con breakfast.
I don't want to like disagree with that statement because there's probably some truth in it.
Yeah. And speaking of second breakfast, Chaotic Corn Dogs, what's up, man?
Hello.
Hello.
It's been a while. It's been
Yeah.
a pretty long time since I've been on this. I've been taking a break from doing a lot of internet stuff because I had a bunch of real world stuff to deal with. But I'm back.
Yeah.
I started running a Burning Wheel campaign, which isn't streamed or anything. But that game is really complicated.
Yeah.
And yeah, trying to get into like communities and stuff because I've been out for like a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, that's what I've been doing recently. It's just
cool. What's your Burning Wheel game about?
Burning Wheel. So,
and how much have you offloaded to your players about the rules and knowledge? That's the real secret. That's the pro tip.
So, in my Burning Wheel game, I didn't offload too much to my players. I basically just told them, like, you're a player, you should probably read like the rule book, like all of the parts that you are going to interact with. So you don't have to like read the fight subsystem if you don't like intend on getting in fights. So I didn't offload too much. I probably did more than I thought I did, but I think I did a fine job. But my Burning Wheel campaign is about the whole setting was based around the beliefs and instincts of the players.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do. Yeah.
There's these two like floating weird void cities that are like giant moving cities. And,
oh shit.
One of them is like going near another one, and they're like the political disputes. And there's going to be like there's going to be like a war that might break out. There's like a lot of tension, and these players are going to like try to rise in like social ranks from this war.
Of course, that's what wars are for back in the day.
So that's what they do.
Yeah, it's the only way for social advancement. Yeah, cool.
So I'm having a lot of fun with that.
No problem. By the way, just real quick, a point of order. Gordog, could you move your mic a little bit closer to you? There was just occasionally times when I think that the threshold for like your audio being picked up would just like cut out at like 1 second. And other than that, it's probably fine. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, that's way better. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just know that I knew it was the snowball doing it because I was a snowball owner myself forever, and I know that snowball sometimes does that shit. So anyways, yeah, so welcome. Hi. So I'm so glad you guys all came and you're excited to play Polaris with me today. This is a GM-less game set once again in this fictional prehistoric realm, not like dinosaurs and stuff, maybe dinosaurs and stuff, but really it's before any sort of written history. It's kind of like, before Atlantis even sunk into the sea, even before Atlantis. It is called the Starlit Realm, and it technically it's supposed to happen kind of like in the northern Arctic. That's what the art kind of leads you to, and you're talking about this fantasy kingdom. And the way this game works is that we're going to be chronicling two heroes, two knights of the Starlit Realm. And you might be wondering, why are there 2 knights and 4 players? That's because we're going to have 2 consecutive stories. And one of the persons who's not playing the knight is going to be playing what's called the antagonist. And that's sort of like the, not necessarily even the GM, because there's a GM list, but you are playing the person who's responsible for introducing problems and complications to your characters. So that's how it's going to work. So you're going to see us be taking turns crossing between 2 different stories through this game. The way it works is that one person's sort of playing the hero, one person's playing the protagonist, the other 2 people will be playing sort of the NPCs, depending on how the world works. I'll get into those details later. It's not important. But then in the second story, we flip that around. So if you imagine sort of like a plus sign, or like if you look at the table here, that's like literally a plus sign. We're just going to invert the other one. So like we're going to turn it 90 degrees. So that way the people who are playing the NPCs in the first game become the hero and the antagonist in the second game, and vice versa. And so this way we still have a chance to tell our stories and stuff. The original game, you would play with literally each of us would be our own hero and we would take turns telling all these stories. But we're playing the story game Seattle Redux version of Polaris that's kind of cut everything down for extended play to be a one-shot. So that's sort of the high-level thing that we're doing here. So that's kind of it. Before we jump into being like, hey, who do we want to be and all those types of things, let's just do that. Let's just jump into it. So let's talk about what we want to be. There's no like big secret to like, oh, if you're a new beginning player, you should totally play the hero or you should totally play the antagonist. You should play what you think be most interesting, because in this Starlit Realm, that's what I know. Gordon, you're quiet and you're smiling. I know exactly what it is. I forgot to say what the problem is of the world. So of course,
you made a mistake, Eric.
I did make a mistake. Ooh, So, yeah, I said we were in this like kingdom and we're in the North Pole, like around the North Pole and stuff. There's no North Pole anymore. That is think of like Calamity Ganon from Breath of the Wild. It's called the Mistake. There is a hole in the North Pole. We can color it whichever way we would like to, but essentially that is the Forbidden Land. We cannot go there anymore because of this horrible influence that has destroyed our capital city, leaving 4 of the cardinal posts around our domain left over. Hence 4 knights. That's sort of the idea of the original game, but that's we're only doing 2. The North Hole. Exactly, Hyena Spots. Thank you, chat. Exactly, the North Hole. And that's called the Mistake. So the antagonist is responsible for playing the Mistaken. The Mistaken or anyone corrupted with the mistake. What you can do is throughout the game, we might see people change from being an NPC to a Mistaken. These are things that can happen, right? So sometimes NPCs, if Cat of Corn Dog's playing a guy and then all of a sudden through play we discover that person's actually getting corrupted by the demons or whatever, then like they become a Mistaken. How does that happen? I don't know. We're going to talk about that fictionally. Are our demons real or literal? Like, are Mistaken primordial forces from here? Are they spirits? Are they monsters? Like, these are all things that can happen. And I think what makes this game really exceptional and really cool is the way things get resolved. Because this game, the way we're playing this is diceless. There's no... We don't both look at each other and we go to the dice to see what happens. We're going to rely on each other to see where this goes and where this happens. The way this works is that, for all intents and purposes, the protagonist kind of has final say over what happens. And if you're familiar with playing kind of like Blades of the Dark with John Harper and stuff like that, you kind of feel like you can put forward fiction and then something can happen and you might have to roll something back. And that's what this game does in spades. So say, let's give an example, right? I'm the Mistaken, and I'm a giant dragon. I'm a giant shadow dragon or something, and I'm like, I'm gonna go Polaris. Okay, protagonist, I'm gonna jump in there and I'm gonna go attack your kingdom and lay it to waste because you're too occupied doing these other things. The protagonist can either let that happen, or they have permission to say, not so fast, antagonist. This can happen, but only if. And then you raise the stakes. You introduce something else, being like, only if I kill you in the process, and I'm able to save every single member of that town. You may have destroyed the land, but I saved everybody. And then it's flipped over to the antagonist at that point, being like, but only if this next thing, you keep raising the stakes. Once you realize that the stakes are okay, you say, and so it was, and you agree to it. Conversely, if you feel like if you put forward too much, like you went all in and you're not cool with it at all, you can call for a redo, a mulligan, and that's called you're asking too much. You can only do those a limited number of times. But the idea is that then the player has to offer an alternative, and then you have to choose between those two. And that's basically the game. You just keep doing these sort of like this fictional brinksmanship through the game. You'll know when the game is not working. Because if people are saying, and so it was, like very quickly, or if people are, like not caring about the consequences you're putting forward to them, then you're going to see that the conflict's not working. But then once you find those things that someone does care about, you find that players don't budge an inch on it. And it could, this is the first time I played a story game, and I'm going to tell you a quick little anecdote. And I've just been rambling for like 30 years. But I was in a game, and there was a guy who he was a protagonist, and Ben Robbins was playing the Mistaken, and he was like, "I'm gonna lay waste to your entire city, and all the people are gonna die." And the protagonist was like, "Sure, that's fine. I'm going to become, in order to like save the world and stuff, I'm going to become the next Mistaken." And he was like, "That's fine, but your daughter hates you." And he's like, "Too much, man, too much. Not leave my daughter out of this." And like it was like that was the thing. That was the thing. Like that was the moment when we realized like how our heroes how our hero's daughter perceives the hero is the thing that matters most to the hero in this story right now. And that's when the juiciness happens and you start like fighting over literally inches of fiction. And that's the joy of the game. So anyways, that's sort of the spiel of the game. That's how it really works, and that's it. And now let's get into the business. So I'll describe what the moons do. Don't worry about that yet. But is anybody? We have to each decide individually if we're going to be a protagonist or an antagonist. We need one of each. So, since I'm facilitating the game, I don't want to put forward what I want to say. I want you guys to suggest this stuff to me. I want to know what you guys are interested in.
I've got a lot of feelings about demons and primordial forces and corrupting the goodness of the world. So I might put my hand up to play an antagonist.
Cool. So you're not might, you are. So I'm actually going to do this on screen, so we know. Luke, you are going to do this. So originally these handouts are supposed to be put on top of a table, right? And so that's why you might be wondering why some of these words are upside down. Well, that's because it's a handout at the table, and we're supposed to be sitting in sort of a plus sign or an X. And so that's why you should all just be looking at the thing that you're supposed to be looking at. But since we're playing on a screen, it's kind of, well, and I don't know enough about graphic design and overlays and layouts to make something look pretty for that. So here we go.
Apparently,
we're going to make it work.
Fold it in half.
All right. So who wants to be the protagonist against Luke?
Oh.
Okay, done. Corn dogs. It's you, man.
All right, sweet.
Put CC down here. Is there a way I can... Man, is this thing... Oh, it's just too... Okay. The handout's just a little bit too big. All right, there we go. I can fix this. I'm a clever man. There we go.
Clever Man is the name of an excellent Australian speculative fiction television series that you should all go check out on Netflix.
Ooh, Clever Man.
Yeah, about like local indigenous mythology incorporated into like dystopian sci-fi. It's
like
really...
Black Mirror, like a cultural Black Mirror.
Not so much. Like it's all in a lot of ways about like race politics in Australia and our problematic relationship with the local indigenous population and their mythologies.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the creator is an indigenous guy who was like, I want my son to have superheroes from our culture, not just from white people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is a noble goal, and like fucking go for it.
That's sick.
It is a very good show. I believe it is on US Netflix now. So everyone
I'm so glad we were our lives have crossed paths, Luke. You're an awesome person.
Also, there is another media recommendation, but I'm going to save it for the end of the show. But
okay.
Oh shit, I got a really good one.
Yeah, so let's keep going. Will, do you want to Golden Age? Do you want to be the new moon or the full moon? For people playing at home, playing the home game of Polaris, let me give a quick little rendition. I know Golden Age and I know what they are. The full moon represents the right hand side. This is sort of the logical, ordered, hierarchical relationships that a character can have. For example, your boss, the king. Sort of societally hierarchical relationships. The new moon represents your emotional, familial relationships. So those sort of like whether or not it's by law and society in order. Once again, characters can switch between these two. Your boss can also be, your dad. Like that's a thing, right? So it all depends. People can float. Okay. So which one are you feeling?
I feel like playing like kings and stuff tonight, so I'll go with the full moon.
Okay, so I'm the new moon. Perfect. Awesome. Now we're almost done before we flip over everything. All right, and we invert this and we continue. So we need to start filling out some details. So this comes to you, Cat Corn Dogs. You're not only are you supposed to come up with a name yet from the name list. You start with these 3 things and a bonus thing. We're removing fates in this game that tie characters together. It's part of the strip down thing. But these are the 3 accoutrements that come with your character. So I'm gonna make sure I put them in the right spots. You are in the offices category up here. You are a knight of the Starlit Order. That's not going to work. There we go. Okay. What this means depends on what we want to do with the fiction and stuff. All right. But you are a knight of the Starlit Order. That is one of the things that you can call on to help you. This is also something that the antagonist can threaten. Right. these things that, you know, they're double-edged swords. Whatever assets can quickly become liabilities, and vice versa. You can gain new things through play. You can lose through things in play. Blessings. Blessings are actual items and physical assets, I believe. As well as spells.
Sword.
Yeah, you start with a starlit sword. Is that a lightsaber? It totally could be. You could play this game as a light side, dark side game very easily.
Oh, that would be such an easy hack. Like,
only question you would have to ask yourself is, what is the mistake? Is it the Empire or is it the dark side of the Force?
Yeah.
That's the only question you have to ask about this game, and then you can make it.
Like straight Poetic Slayer hack.
Yep, and you have the ability. You have the ability called Lore of Demons.
Ooh.
Once again, generically, you know what demons are. It's like you know the secrets of demons, and fighting them. You have a Starlit Sword, and you have a Knight of the Starlit Order, and now you have one more thing. Once we have done that, then we will create characters. Your name, like what our hero's name is. We'll come up with some moons for your character to start out with, to interact with, as well as the key mistaken. So, man, Sam, wise fool, barely even a hack, to be honest. There's no such thing as barely even a hack. It's a hack. A hack is a hack, and it's a game.
Yeah, to quote Adam Kobe,
I love him, by the way.
As soon as you write a house rule, you are now a game designer. Too late to go back.
Bake means cheesecake. I'm not sure I know what that means. But anyways, okay, let's do this, guys. So, corn dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You get to come up with one extra thing to go along with these 3 accoutrements, these 3 bonuses. It can be beautiful singing, you know, like, think of if you ever played 13th Age, it's like your one good thing almost. It could be something like, I'm the best musician in the land. You know, it could be something like, I can cast spells, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're kind of free here. Put something that you think is interesting that you want to see explored through play.
And that you don't mind too much if I...
Bake some mean cheesecake is the 4th thing. Being good chef's a good one. Yeah.
I want to say something about like being well traveled and like knowing the land and stuff. I don't know how to put them to words though.
Lore of the Wastes?
Yeah, I was gonna say lore of the realm or the waste, or like, you want to be the lands as in like outside the kingdom? Or,
yeah, like
let me try to ask questions to get to what you're thinking.
Like lore of the Waste is probably good.
Yeah, cool. So you have knowledge.
Like, yeah. I like know the land. I'm not like fighting in unfamiliar territory or anything.
Sam has listener to the land. You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. I like that too.
That's strong.
That's strong. Whenever you can in these games, writing down something that has sort of that evocative name. This is just a really good story game tip. Give things an actual names. Good. Perfect. So you have listener to the land. All right. So let's now come up with a name for our protagonist, and then come up with some moon names and mistakens.
I've got a name for my mistaken.
Okay. Let's start right there. Unless while Kate at Corn Dog's probably still looking at the list. I asked that we all brought up the sheet here. By the way, this game actually comes with a really, really good name list. It's all named after stars. They're all stars and their meanings in the back of the book. So we're just going to be taking from that for this part of the game. So anyways, mistaken, Luke. Let's go.
Yeah, so the key mistaken is called Corvus Algorab, the Crowned Raven.
Yeah. I don't know what the last part is, but I know Corvus is a crow or a raven.
Yeah. And like, Eric, I'm not saying I'm going to revisit the giant, horrible Deathcaller crow creature from Endless Sea, but like, I'm not saying that either.
Yeah.
That was an aesthetic I enjoyed.
The crowned raven. That's sick.
Crowned, excuse you. It has that Shakespearean flair.
Okay. Corvus Algorab. I'll make this a little bit bigger. And I'll put Crowned Raven. Crowned Raven.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. We can come up with the relationship to the hero and stuff in a little bit. Corn Dogs, do you have a name yet? Okay. I'm going to come up with ooh. Actually, Golden Age, do you want to go first? You're muted. I have an idea. You're muted, my dude. There. I unmuted you in Zoom. You should be good now.
The mute controls disappeared for me. Whatever. Let us go with King Altair.
King Altair?
Yes.
Let's make sure.
Altair means the flying one.
Where's that one? Is that a sub name somewhere?
It's on the first page.
Oh, okay. I'm like deep in the name list. So it's like AL then, right? Yeah.
Yeah. ALTAIR.
Yeah. Cool. So you're King Altair. Ooh, I'm gonna be Sadachiba. And I am do I want to be, my question here is, do I want to be your love? Or like the person you're pursuing?
Sure. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, how could that possibly go wrong?
Yeah,
it's not like there's evil darkness or whatever trying to.
I'm just gonna put romantic interest. Sadachiba is a guide to the wastes outside the city. For merchants going between the different parts. So they are a guide. And by the way, Sadachiba means lucky star of tents. So that's why. That's enough for us to get started, as long as once Chaotic Corn Dogs gives us a sort of a name and a description, and then we're good to go.
So the description is supposed to be the like meaning of the star, right?
Or like what your character looks like, how old they are, that kind of stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So I found a star called Avior, which I thought was a pretty good hero name.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I'm just thinking like, like not too young. Like he was like a adventuring type, right? A while ago. Mm-hmm. That's kind of behind him now, right? Because he's wandered through the wastes before, but now he's probably past his like prime. And I don't know. He got roped into some stuff that's going on. Maybe he's connected to the North Hole thing. I don't know. But yeah, not too young of a guy. He probably has like graying hair. What time period is this in? Have we specified them?
No, like this is this is fantastical history.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is called the Starlit Realm. We have not seen the sun. This happens at nighttime when the sky is permanently adorned with glistening stars.
Okay.
Except the mistake has happened.
I'm really into the aesthetic where the mistake is some kind of horrific like super sun. Like melting the ice and turning darkness into like searing light. Because that feels very like elementally evocative.
It like takes up the whole sky.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like,
so
that's kind of the thing. Like this game, you can totally do a palette for this game, like in Americoscope, if we wanted to. But let's do it quick.
Yeah. So So Avior. All right. So you're a knight and you like fought against the mistake or whatever, and that stuff's kind of like, and like you were an explorer, and that's kind of like behind you now, is what you're saying?
I'm not. So does this mistake have to be like recent, or does it have to be like a distant thing that's like always been there, or can it be like a recent thing? Like I'm thinking like, could I have caused this? Could this be something that I like inadvertently caused?
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely could.
Okay. Yeah, we might go into details about that later because I don't.
No, that's good.
Like
that's fine. That's a good place to start. Yeah. That's a great place to start, and that could be where for your like, because once again we have to do another set of this for the other two of us, for me and Golden H, and that story is not going to be related to this one, and that's a great way of doing it. Okay.
Yeah. So cool. Avior is trying to like he made this big mistake, and he needs to like stop it because it was his fault, and he has to like
Yeah. No, that works well. Cool. Also, I'm gonna bring us over to the game too.
Avior and Altair sound reasonably similar as names. Are the two of you related? Our king and our hero.
Golden. I'll leave that up to you.
Whether or not you're related?
Yeah.
Who's related exactly? I kind of was thinking
King Altair and Avior. Like their names are
that makes
similar
sense.
enough in some respects that like I wonder if it's not some weird royal family naming bullshit.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is it want to be a direct relationship, or would you rather it be a strange relationship?
Like strange? Like I feel like strange.
This, my son. I hate you now.
Well, I mean, we could probably see that in play. Maybe.
Yeah. No,
all right.
A very good point.
Would you like to be my bastard son?
Oh, bastard son! Wait, that's super.
Yeah, let's do that. Absolutely. Let's say that's true, and then we'll go from there. So let's do our game, Golden H. Do you want to be protagonist or antagonist?
I'm leaning more towards protagonist, but I'm willing to roll for it.
Nope, I'm being antagonist.
All right.
Yes, Eric, join me on the dark
I
side.
love being antagonist.
All right,
it's my favorite. Okay, cool. It is decided. What about you guys for the moons? Yeah. Corn Dogs and Luke, which moons do you want to be right now?
I am indifferent. I am happy to play a full moon or a no moon. Both of these things are equally interesting to me.
I'll go new moon.
All right, cool. This actually feels very in keeping with my recent gaming experiences. I will be the strictures of duty and obligation that bind you to your people.
Okay.
I'll fuck you up.
Cool. Once again, you get, you're a knight of the Starlit Order, right?
Yep.
Or it's actually, I think it's Starlight Order. Forgive me. You have the Starlit Sword. You know what you can kind of think about this game? Actually, this game is a lot like a tragic Zelda in a way that like you keep telling the same story when you play this game. It's just different iterations of a similar tale. The Starlit Sword is the Master Sword, or whatever. Anyways, and you have Lore of Demons, right? And now you have something else. So what is your fourth thing? And let me give them the names on that jam. What is thy bidding?
I have the Veil of... I don't want to say memories. What's the thing where inspiration or thoughts?
I think of like a font or a well of inspiration. Like if you're thinking of a literal thing.
Yeah, sure. So it's the Veil of Inspiration.
Okay, what is that? Is that like something you wear, like a literal veil?
Yes, it's like a piece sheet of cloth that you can look through into light, and you'll see the stars shimmering through it, and in this way you can read someone's mind.
Oh, so it's like telepathy.
Yeah,
That's
And
good.
and more like augury kind of stuff.
yeah.
Or more just like astrology. So like we can always see the stars because like there's no sun except near the mistake. But then this lets you read even more into the stars. Okay, and that's the object that gives you that. That's not like your knowledge that gives you through
Right,
by
it's an
using
object.
it. The object is what's powerful.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that's clear. Awesome. Do you have a name so far?
Adhill the Muse.
Okay, Adhill.
ADHIL.
I think I have an NPC for the full moon side of things.
Okay, what are you thinking?
I am the high priest of the Austral Houses, the order of priests that gave you that veil.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you spell that?
Austral, Austral.
And I'm gonna say, what's the term for the member of the highest order of for the muses? What are they? Like patriarch, matriarch, or is it like
I think elder.
elder? Okay. And what was the name of the group?
The Austral Houses.
Oh, so you're Austral and also the Austral houses?
No, I don't think my character has a name. I think they're just the elder.
Oh, elder of the the elder of the Austral houses. Got
Is
it.
it
Got
Eldar
it.
with an A?
Oh crap! I just hit back. Oops. Pay no attention.
Are you like a Warhammer 40k elder or?
No, elder
Elder.
like an old person.
That's
Okay.
all right. Hold
Oh,
on.
you just left roll 20, Eric.
I know. I hit the back button on
Oh,
accident.
Eric.
Okay.
Classic
If somebody
Eric.
left, I'm like, oh, it's Eric. That's weird.
Here we go. And I have 2 games of Polaris and I accidentally joined the other one. We're good. Fixed. Okay. So, sorry. That's Elder.
Yep.
And one more time, how do you spell the All-Star? Aldar?
Austral.
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 Oh, like Astral with a U.
I mean, it is, I believe, a word in its own right, but I'm gonna have to look that up.
I know, but I don't know what it is. But like, just in terms of spelling, because I don't know. I'm sure
Yes,
it's a word in its
in
own
terms
right.
of spelling, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the south. It means
Yeah.
southern.
Oh. Oh, cool.
In fact, it means relating to the southern hemisphere. It's the root of Australia, etymologically.
Oh shit! Of course it is. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Austral houses are like, I don't know, they're like a heaven in the sky to the south or something. I'm still working on that bit.
Yeah, it's Australia without the IA. I don't know why I didn't realize that. I'm sorry, Hyena Spots.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat. That's good. Okay. Yeah, cool. Okay. And then, Corn Dogs, do you have one or should I go?
I got one. I'm Hadar, the great cat of the mirrored manor.
So you're like a companion?
No, I'm a giant cat. I'm like real big.
Sure.
Like-
What I'm saying, what is your relationship? What's your
My
relationship?
relationship,
You are familial or personal? It's not
like I feel like
you're like not his boss or subordinate.
I understand I'm not his boss, but I feel like I feel like I'm like one of those like wandering tricksters, like kind of
like a
like
Cheshire cat?
kind of whenever our hero do we have a name yet? No. Like looks into like a mirrored surface, I'm probably there. Like
Okay.
like puddles of rain or the reflection on a blade, etc. Things like that.
Nice. Yeah,
So-
my name
okay.
is Ed.
But what is your relationship to the muse?
Relationship to the muse.
Yeah, what is your relationship to Adhill? What
Adhill?
makes you in the New Moon column as opposed to anywhere else on the sheet?
Golden, you have any ideas? Oh, wait, maybe you trapped me. Something like that. Maybe it's like...
Okay, yeah.
Like, I was some sort of like...
That still doesn't give me any information about your relationship, other than just you're his prisoner. What is your familial or what makes you a New Moon instead? Because a prisoner sounds like it should belong in the full moon column.
Oh yeah, it's to say you're female. Right.
So give me an example of a familial bond, because obviously I'm misinterpreting.
So if you were a lover, if you were a friend, if you were a member of family,
oh, okay, I understand.
Intimate personal relationships.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, intimate personal relationships. Okay, I'm gonna have to back off on what I was thinking. I think I'm just gonna go with the like familiar-esque thing. The like I just kind of like wander around with you.
Okay, yeah.
Trickster with a personal interest.
Yeah.
So I did capture you and then I made you my familiar.
So you're like a trickster cat.
Mm-hmm.
And you've taken an interest in Adhill.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That works. And now I have to come up with a mistaken. I think I know what I want to do. I think of a good name for it now. Let's see if there's something about a goat somewhere I can pick.
Yep. Just a couple of them.
Sagittarius. No, wait, no, Capricorn. Goatfish.
Thinking about doing something as well, like the Dark Muse or something like that. And so I'm trying to think of something that fits that.
You could also be two
Capricorn.
goats.
Yeah, the horn goat. The two goats. The keel of the Argo. What? God, these names.
The Argo's famous ship in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the sky, Eric. All things in Greek mythology.
Maz.
In the sky.
Wow. Maz is he goat. I love that.
I was looking at Maz.
Where is it?
Maz is cool.
121.
You.
Maz. And I'm going to say, no, I'm going to, what do I want to do? What's a non-gendered word for creator? Like, I'm thinking, I want to say Maz, and I'm sort of like the goat with 1,000 young. Like, I give birth to creatures.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to think of something of Maz, the
abundant?
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, creator of, the maker. The maker.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like the maker. I create monsters and creatures. I don't know what I am myself. I'm probably a primordial force. Maybe I'm like a star. I don't know yet. But I might actually... I feel like, Hadar, you and I have a relationship in some way.
Like, Yep, absolutely.
So I'm interested in this. Cool. So there we go. That's it. That's all we got to do for starting out here. And now we can actually begin play. And let's get a couple scenes in, and then we'll go to our first break. Let's do one scene a piece, and then we'll go to our break. I know that's going to bring us over time a little bit for the hour, but you're welcome. So
Wow.
Enjoy. Okay. So let's get into it. So the way this is going to work is that each time we're going to be taking turns between the protagonist and the antagonist setting the scenes. Protagonist sets the first scene of the game. And once again, so the protagonist sets the first scene, we go, then we flip over to the other story, protagonist sets the scene, and then we flip back, antagonist sets the scene, flip back, antagonist sets the scene. Okay? So that's kind of how the game's going to work. All right, so this time, this starts with Chaotic Corn Dogs. You are Avior. You get to start the first scene. I know it's kind of like I'm just jumping you into this middle of this pool that we just barely filled. welcome to fucking Polaris. I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't know. You have to come up with my suggestions is to be, as always, be obvious. Come up with say what the first thing comes to your head. Create a goal and motivation for your character. Be tropish. Follow it for now and see where it goes. Those are the obvious things. Maybe there's something you have to acquire. Acquiring a magical artifact is always like just classic. I mean, D&D is an entire role-playing game based basically around acquiring shit to kill monsters. So like, why not? If you need help, there are things out. There's fiction to steal from.
So for setting a scene, all I have to do is like make the landscape.
No, you frame who's in it. You frame what's going on, and you do the whole thing.
All right.
Tell us a story. We should wait for Luke because Luke has to.
Darn.
So here's a quick thing too. Polaris is one of those games where the more you play it, the more the more you think about how you would do other things. So don't sweat it. Just you can go big. Like as Sam says, one thing you always think about when we're playing Polaris is like never go too big with it. And that's true. And sometimes you even go smaller. It's just one of those weird things about the game where you just kind of figure out what you want to do. Like you could literally be like, so I'm destroying the world right now. And like that's where you could literally start the game, right? You have that power. You have this you have near unlimited creative potential right now. And sometimes I know that shuts people down. So like that's why I say like just be obvious. Have a scene with one of the moon characters. Establish a new character. You can do those things. Right? We're not limited to the characters we created.
And like be bold because I am here to rein you in. I can be but only if. So,
exactly.
That's why you can be like, yes, I'm destroying the world, and I'm like, let's talk about that.
Exactly. So like if you ever see John play with blades, like how you can be like aggressive with things, and someone else was like, nah, not so fast. Hold on. And like that's where this game shines.
The half of maneuver. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's where this game shines. So don't be afraid to be aggressive. Like get the things that you want.
Okay. So where should I start with scene framing? Should I start with like general concept? Should I start with like
establishing shot?
Establishing. Okay. So Avior, in his raggedy brown leathers and mismatched plated shoulders, is knocking on the castle door of King Alatar, seeking aid in the destruction of the mistake. He's seeking the assistance of the king's armies to, help him with his problem.
Sure. Yeah, he's calling for aid, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Because he's just a man.
Sure.
So you're like through the door, King Altair in a hushed conversation with somebody. And you knock on this door?
Yes.
The conversation stops. And there's silence for a moment. And then you hear the words, enter.
We hear the creak of the door opening. It's, an old castle. And I walk in like a Dark Souls character with like both doors opening at once and just strut
it's totally dark in here, so like light is
that's what I was thinking. What do I see?
See King Altair on his throne, and he's holding a scepter, and behind him is a vast wall of emerald curtains.
All right. I approach, and we get a shot from like one of the higher points in the throne room, and we just get that really long, sort of like awkward, just like clicking of like my steps going up to the king, just like one after the other, and it just takes the amount of time.
Yeah.
Until
As by
I
an
finally
invisible hand, the door slams behind you.
Yeah, of course. And I finally get to the bottom of the staircase. And I say, King Altier, I seek the aid of your armies to destroy Corvus. What say you?
Corvus. Yes, that creature must be destroyed. I will lend you my armies, but first you must visit the Oracle and learn of its weakness.
Where is this Oracle? What?
The Oracle.
Where shall I seek it?
The Oracle lies in the heart of the well, at the center of town.
Okay.
You must descend the well and face the great beast, Atraxis. And then you will be able to speak with the Oracle.
I give my liege a very low bow, and I say it will be done. And I slowly tap my way out of the throne room.
Cool. Is that scene? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Good establishing.
And so it was.
And so it was. Yeah.
And so it was.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Now it's Adil's turn. You set the scene, Golden H.
So you see Adele, she is a young woman who is puttering around a small, musty shop. And you see her with her broom and, straightening items. You realize this is her little shop. And people come in through the day. She sells them small items of wire that she's bent into different shapes. Some of them they're all in the shapes of constellations. So there's all kinds of different things she's handing out. And at one point during the day, we see her looking in this cup of tea, and there's a cat in it. And she takes a small ribbon that fell off her last customer and drops it in the teacup, and the ribbon disappears.
But only if that customer you haven't had any customers in a while. Perhaps it's being so slow that the reason why you're doing this is because of that. So
it was.
Okay. That's fine. Just giving you that rope to hang yourself later. Just giving you that rope.
Yeah, great. So we see later that day, later when the shop is closed, she goes to a mirror, and in this mirror we see that giant cat. Mm-hmm. And she says, what's your name again?
Hadar.
Hadar, I require your assistance once again. I require you to go to the house of this young shepherd and take from him his shadow and bring it to me.
Can you say that again? You said shadow?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
But only if that shepherd is a known acolyte to Maz.
And so it was.
Sure. I'm going to put down the shepherd. What's it? I got to come up with the shepherd's name.
Buddhist.
Buddhist? Thank you. So Buddhist isn't mistaken.
Ooh, okay.
That's what happens when you say he's an acolyte of them. He's mistaken. That's so it was. Cool. I'm cool with that. All right, cool. There we go. Easy. See? Nice, simple things. There's no cap to the number of scenes we do. So that works out. We can just constantly do plenty of scenes, right? Whenever we feel like we get to the right part, we can keep moving on. So that's awesome. Great. So we're due for our first break, guys. We're going to take a quick little 5-minute break, get a snack, all that kind of stuff, and we'll be right back. See you guys on the other side.
All right.